All right, guys, I got a couple Trump clips here for you. He sat down for an interview with Laura Ingraham. And in this first clip, he's going to make pretty clear that he's dodging a debate with Kamala Harris. I'll show you that. And then in the second clip, Ingraham is going to ask for clarification on something Trump said at a rally recently, where he sort of implied, like, look, after you vote for me, you'll never have to vote again. And, of course, the attack line there is people are saying, wait, are you saying you're going to be a dictator and you're going to stay in office? Like, it's a weird thing to say when you, on a regular basis, praise authoritarians. The other day we covered, he talked about President Xi of China, and he said he's a brilliant man, and he praised him for, quote, ruling with an iron fist, implying that, of course, an iron fist is a good thing. He famously said he wants to suspend the Constitution to get himself back in power. So for a guy who has countless comments in favor of authoritarianism, for him to come out and say, look, you'll never have to vote again after this election, yeah, that's some red flags there, to say the least. So, all right, let's start with the stuff he says on potentially debating Kamala. Here we go.
Why not debate her?
Well, wait. But because they already know everything. She wants to defund our police. She wants no bail. She wants no cash. You kill somebody and we're going to release you immediately. They call it cashless. By the way, this has been a horrible thing for our country. This has been what I just said. But we know where she is. She wants high taxes.
Well, they're going to say you're afraid of debating her. That's what they're going to say.
Well, they said that with Biden, too. You know, I was afraid. I did great with Biden, and I did great in every debate. I've had a lot of debate numbers.
Oh, shit.
But
well, they're going to say you're afraid of debating her. That's what they're going to say.
Well, they said that with Biden, too. You know, I was afraid. I did great with Biden, and I did great in every debate. I've had...
Yeah, but you debated Biden. You're saying you're not going to debate Kamala now.
A lot of debates.
But you're winning on all the issues,
But, you know,
right?
I'm leading in the polls by, I think, a lot. I don't know. I hear different numbers. But I'm leading in all of the polls. I'm leading big in all of the swing states.
Yeah, so Laura Ingraham said, why don't you debate her? And he says, because we already know everything. So, I don't have to debate her. I'm just going to keep attacking her. Look, we got to call a spade here. He's being a little bitch. And truth be told, I think he's genuinely scared to debate Kamala. Look, the fact of the matter is, when he debated Biden, it was very clear to everybody who was paying attention. Oh, Biden's brain is literally not functioning anymore. It's just not. Like, his brain is just not working anymore. I'm sorry, it's just not. And so Trump, it was effectively like fighting Joe Biden when Joe Biden had one hand tied behind his back. And it was sort of easy for Trump. He was just able to slap him around. The other thing, as I told you would happen, it helped Trump massively that you had, when one person was giving their answer, the other person's mic was muted. I said that's going to help Trump because in the last debate they had in 2020, Trump came across as super unhinged because he kept interrupting Biden. He was badgering Biden. He was berating Biden. And Biden ended up winning that debate because it just looked like this is a normal guy trying to speak and he's getting interrupted and the guy interrupting him is unhinged. So for a number of reasons, Trump really handily won the debate. Everybody says Trump won that debate. But Trump clearly knew going in, hey, this guy is, he's lost a couple steps. And so now he has to debate somebody whose brain actually functions. And by the way, Kamala Harris is not the best debater. We've seen her get kind of destroyed in the Democratic primary debates. So you shouldn't really be afraid, but he's afraid. And by the way, at another point, he goes on to say, well, I'm leading. So in other words, I don't have to make up any grounds, so I'm just not going to debate her and hope the polls stay the same. Look, I think this is a big mistake for Trump. I do think it's a big mistake for Trump because it feeds into this notion that, like, you're sort of like a spoiled brat. You're really entitled. You want to, like, protect your lead by hiding, effectively. The last time he missed a debate, you guys remember this? It was the 2016 primary, and it was announced that Megyn Kelly was going to be one of the moderators. And he was really pissed off because in the previous debate where Megyn Kelly was there, Megyn Kelly gave him a tough line of questioning and sort of humiliated him a little bit, and he didn't like that. And so he threw a little tantrum and said, I'm not going to the debate. And he didn't go to the debate. And what's funny is that Trump's people portrayed that as Trump being strong and macho. I've never seen anything less strong and less macho. Running away from the challenge is the most bitch-ass shit I've ever seen in my life. He did it then. He's doing it now. And clearly, he doesn't want to have to debate somebody whose brain isn't leaking out of their ears. So, I don't know, man. That's some profound weakness, if I'm being honest with you. And what he doesn't realize is, look, as of today, the Real Clear Politics average of polling, guess what? Kamala's up plus 0.7 percentage points. Well within the margin of error. This is the first time in a long time blue is technically up on the board. So that whole thing, oh, I'm leading. Not really anymore. Not really anymore. Maybe you can make an argument in the swing states. He might still have a tiny lead, but it's virtually erased. All right, so now let's go to this one. Laura Ingram's going to be like, you didn't mean that you want to stay in office, right? When you said you don't ever have to vote again? Watch this.
They're also attacking you for other ridiculous reasons. They're saying that you said to a crowd of Christians that they won't have to vote in the future.
Yeah, let me say what did I mean by that. I had a tremendous crowd speaking to Christians. I mean, this was a crowd that liked me a lot. I think I'm at 97% or something. And they're treated very badly by this administration, okay? Catholics are treated unbelievably. They're like persecuted. And
what the fuck are you babbling? That is not true at all. I was raised Catholic. My mom is still Catholic. My aunts and uncles are Catholic. There's fucking, in no way, shape, or form are they being persecuted. Not remotely. They still live their lives like normal. They go to church, all the same shit. Like, what are you talking about? God damn it. All right, let's keep going.
Catholics are treated unbelievably. They're like persecuted. And if I might say, before I go into the other, Jewish people, if you're Jewish and you vote for Biden or the Democrats or Kamala or whoever's going to run, I guess it's going to be her. But if you voted for her or the Democrats, you should have your head examined because nobody's ever been treated so badly.
Oh my God.
This administration is destroying Israel.
Oh my God. So some brazen anti-Semitism there saying Jews, all you care about is Israel and you all support Israel. So therefore you should be mad at Biden and Harris because what? They've only given Israel 98.5% of what they want as they're in the midst of doing a genocide? God, this is so bad. By the way, remember the question. He hasn't answered it remotely. Not even close.
With respect to like a statement like I made, that statement is very simple. I said, vote for me. You're not going to have to do it ever again. It's true. Because we have to get the vote out. Christians are not known as a big voting group. They don't vote. And I'm explaining that to them.
Nothing has ever been less true. Christians vote in colossal numbers. Colossal numbers. Where does he get this shit from? He just has verbal diarrhea.
This time, vote. I'll straighten out the country. You won't have to vote anymore. I won't need your vote. You can go back to
you don't have to vote for you because you have 4 years in office.
Look. Christians are known. You know who else doesn't vote?
She asked for clarification. He won't give it.
Gun owners don't vote.
But just to be clear.
That's also not true.
You're saying, though, you're not saying, it's being interpreted as you are not surprised to hear.
No.
By the left as, well, they're never going to have another election. He's saying there's not. So can you even just respond to that?
I said Christians. I started off by saying, just so you understand, you never vote. Christians do not vote well. They vote in very small percentages.
Not true.
Why? I don't know. Maybe they're disappointed in things that are happening. But for a long time, I say, you don't vote. I'm saying, go out. You must vote. November 5th is going to be the most important election in the history of our country. Whether you vote early or not, we should have, by the way, one-day voting. We should have voter ID. We should have proof of citizenship. And we should have paper ballots, okay? That's what we should have. But we don't have that. But I said to the Christians in the room, thousands of them, I said, typically, Christians do not vote. Why it is, I don't know. You're rebellious. Something's going on. Don't worry about the future. You have to vote on November 5th. After that, you don't have to worry about voting anymore. I don't care because we're going to fix it. The country will be fixed and we won't even need your vote anymore because, frankly, we will have such love. If you don't want to vote anymore, that's okay. And I think everybody understood it. I didn't know there was any.
Yeah, well,
He wouldn't clarify it. All he had to say is, no, of course I didn't mean that there's going to be no more elections. Duh. And of course, I'm going to leave after 4 years if I win this election. Of course. He didn't say those things. He couldn't bring himself to say those things. So look, I could understand the perspective of people who heard this and they thought, well, what I think he means is, look, you vote for me one more time, I'm going to fix everything. You'll never have to vote again. Right? And also, like, since it's not going to be me running again, I don't really care if you vote. I only care if you vote for me. I can understand people having that perspective and interpreting his comments that way. But I have to be honest. He has lost the ability to get grace and the benign, positive interpretation of his comments. Why do I say that? He tried to fucking overthrow the last election. He did the fake electors slates in 7 different states, knowing it was fraudulent, knowing it was illegal. He did it. He tried to force his VP to reject the results of the election. They did January 6th. It was a coup attempt. It was an insurrection attempt. This isn't open to debate. We know what his intentions were. We know what he wanted. He wanted to stay in office. He very famously said on Truth Social, we need to suspend the Constitution, terminate the Constitution so that I can get back in power. Like I just told you, he praised President Xi the other day and said he's brilliant because he rules with an iron fist, implying he likes an iron fist. Right? He does have a soft spot for authoritarians and dictators around the world. He says, I want to be a dictator, but only on day one. So, given that context, when he says something like this, look, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He knows he gave just enough wiggle room for people who like him to say, he doesn't mean he's going to stay in office. He doesn't mean there's not going to be any more elections. He knows he gave just enough wiggle room to give plausible deniability, but he also knows everybody else is going to interpret that as he's going all in on being an authoritarian. And he likes that. He wants that. He wants the controversy. He wants to drop a nuclear hot take and then make people scream about it and yell about it. And he wants to leave the impression and the taste in everybody's mouth of, look, maybe he will stay. So he didn't want to go last time. If he's saying, look, I don't want to go again this time, I would understand that. That's sort of a reasonable interpretation of what he's saying here. And he keeps, again, one more time, he's given so many opportunities. Laura Ingraham is desperately trying to get him to sound less extreme, to sound more sane, to clarify, no, that's not what I meant. Of course I'm going to leave office. Of course. He won't do it. He won't do it. One more time.
Also attacking you for other ridiculous reasons. They're saying that you said to a crowd of Christians that they won't have to vote in the future.
Yeah, let me say what did I mean by that. I had a tremendous crowd speaking to Christians. I mean, this was a crowd that liked me a lot. I think I'm at 97% or something. And they're treated very badly by this administration, okay? Catholics are treated unbelievably. They're like persecuted. And if I might say, before I go into the Jewish people, if you're Jewish and you vote for Biden or the Democrats or Kamala or whoever's going to run, I guess it's going to be her. But if you voted for her or the Democrats, you should have your head examined, because nobody's ever been treated so badly by this. This administration is destroying Israel, et cetera, et cetera. So with respect to like a statement like I made, that statement is very simple. I said, vote for me. You're not going to have to do it ever again. It's true. Because we have to get the vote out. Christians are not known as a big voting group. They don't vote. And I'm explaining that to them. You never vote. This time, vote. I'll straighten out the country. You won't have to vote anymore. I won't need your vote. You can go back to
you don't have to vote for you because you have 4 years in office.
Look. Christians are known. You know who else doesn't vote? Gun owners don't vote.
Even Laura Ingraham is shocked.
Clear. What you're saying, though, you're not saying it's being interpreted, as you are not surprised to hear, by the left as, well, they're never going to have another election. He's saying there's not. So can you even just respond to that?
I said Christians. I started off by saying, just so you understand.
He can't do it. He can't do it. She tries so many times. She's desperate. Fox News is desperately trying to help out Trump by saying, wait, you're not as extreme as people are saying you are with these things that you're saying, right? And he's like, maybe. Dark stuff, man. Dark. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.